What's up, folks? I just made a video. I just made a video of talking about the The Time Traveler's Wife. Such a good book. Like, sometimes, you know how you want to enjoy a good book, and people talk about, like, oh, cut it up with coffee and a blanket and settling in with a good book. And like, oh, this is such a good time. I wouldn't want this to end, right? They're making it sound like cuddling up with a good book is like cuddling up with a lover. Like, oh, can we just stay here? But sometimes you read books like, oh, I can't wait till this book to get done. I just can't wait to read. I'm gonna keep reading. I'll try and finish it tonight. Like, sometimes, as much as a book is so good, you want to get it over with. You want to get to the good stuff, right? You want to, I don't know, climax. So I just got done making a video where I talked about it. I was calling them reviews, but I'm not gonna call them reviews anymore. But speaking of books, I kind of dropped a hint a few weeks ago about how my book was pulled off, my paperback book was pulled off of Amazon. It's called The Complete Guide to Primitive Eating. I don't know if you know this or not, but just a few months ago, I was a health and wellness guru, and I gave it all up. I'm like, forget it. Or I was trying to be a health and wellness guru. I wasn't doing a very good job. But I gave it up. Oh, so I have some weight loss. I have a weight loss book. I have a diet book, and I have some nose hairs. I have a couple of books. I got one specifically for Latinas, and I have one for Air Force members who are trying to pass their fitness assessment, physical fitness assessment. And I probably would have wrote more books, but I got into writing fiction. Anyways, my first book, it's called The Complete Guide to Primitive Eating, a self-paced, step-by-step guide to introducing the paleo diet into your life. Well, guess fucking what? The guy who wrote the book, The Paleo Diet, contacted Amazon or Createspace, and because he trademarked the term, the paleo diet, which is completely fucked up, they removed my book, the paperback version, which still sells. And just a poor retired veteran that doesn't have a pension yet, every book sale counts. Like, that's a cup of coffee. So I've been trying to get it back on. I contacted Dr. Lauren Cordain, and he did not contact me back. I reached out to him. The Amazon or Createspace included an email when they sent me the message that they yanked my book. They included the third party. We have been contacted by a third party. Blah blah blah. Well, that third party was Dr. Lauren Cordain. They sent me his email, and I sent him a message, and I was like, sorry, sir, I didn't know that phrase was trademarked. I'm not using your name or that phrase as I'm not trying to say that my product is associated with your product in any way. I'm just using the words introduce into the paleo diet. I was total nice and tried explaining myself. I'm like, I'm not infringing on a trademark. Buddy, lay down. I said, if you still think we are, or still think I am, please let's talk about it. Oh Oh my God, buddy. You're not even going in this time. You're staying out here. So, you turn this on? So, I haven't heard from him. And in the meantime, Amazon Createspace won't put the book back up until I've resolved this with the third party and they don't get involved. Well, third party's not fucking calling me back or writing me back. So I contact Createspace and I go, if I take the fucking term off of the book, it's only on the cover. And I only created the subtitle. It's in the subtitle. I only put the word, I wanted to write the book without the term diet or without the term paleo in it. And then I got all this information about, what's it called? SEO. How you should have good SEO in your book cover, it's in your subtitle, and blah, blah, blah. So I put the words paleo diet in my subtitle. A step-by-step guide to introducing the paleo diet into your life. And now it's kicking me in the ass. I didn't even want the fucking words in my book at all. I write Amazon, I write Createspace, which they're acting like they're two different companies. They're in the same fucking company. And I say, if I remove the term in question from, buddy, stop whining. If I remove the term in question, can we put my book back up? And they said yes. So I changed the subtitle to introducing into a paleo lifestyle, right? Covered. I'm covered. This fucking dog. I contact my man in India. I say, hey man, can you hook up my book cover again? Createspace is tripping, blah, blah, blah. He hooks me up. I upload new book covers, new Kindle, change the subtitle. Don't hear from Createspace. I have to message them, and they come back and they say, we can't use your book cover because it says Amazon on it. Now, this is not the issue. My book has been for sale I published it in 2015, but somewhere later in 2015, I updated it and added a little badge that said Amazon bestseller in paleo. And it's been up there for, almost 2 years for sale. They pulled it because of the copyright infringement suspected in the subtitle. When I took that out, I re-uploaded and they say, well, we can't use it because you said Amazon on it, Amazon bestseller. That's what's been on there. That's what's been on there for, it's not quite 2 years, but I'm just gonna say 2 years. It's been up there for sale, selling for 2 years with that badge that I put on there that says Amazon bestseller. So now I have to deal with that. I'm dealing with that. On a good note, I don't want to say I had writer's block, but I was not writing very much. What I was working on felt like homework. And I said this yesterday on Instagram. Writing shouldn't feel like homework. It should feel like love, like joy, happiness, right? It should be pleasurable. Not only writing, but whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is that you love to do. Like if you're, working in a factory making cans of tuna, okay, you're not gonna love that. But when you get off work, and you're at home and you're drawing or painting or working on a computer program or whatever it is that you love that comes natural, that shouldn't feel like homework. And that's what writing has been feeling like, because I promised to follow up to Los Chocolates and people are excited about it, and so I want to produce that So I'm forcing myself to work on it, and it's not really coming. The ideas are flowing, but or they I don't know what's gonna happen. But what I do have was, after reading The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, I was inspired to write. And the title, working title, is 1255 West 102nd Street. That's where I lived. For 4 years, I lived there with my sister, my mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather. And it's kind of a it's kind of funny, it's kind of sad. Like, I lived in a neighborhood that was so bad to us, to my mother, that she took us to school in a different neighborhood. So I didn't have a normal childhood. For first of all, I'm living with my grandparents, um, in a small two-bedroom house in South Central Los Angeles. Second, I didn't have friends. I didn't have, like everyone else could walk home from school and play with their friends. All my friends were at a different school in Gardena, and I lived in South Central. Uh, so there's 4 years, there's 4 years worth of stories that I think are fun, and I start telling them. I went back. I started this after reading The House on Mango Street. I started writing this, and I thought it was fun. Then Marisol Rivera came to me, and I started working on that. I finished that. I tried to work on some other stuff. I got the worst mime in the world. I'm working on that. I started working on David Alonso Martinez, who is a hermit, celibate hermit who falls in love, or someone falls in love with him. Uh, but it got to a point where the words just weren't flowing out, and I tried and I tried, and a few days ago I said, let me work on 1255, and that's what writing is about. It's the words are coming. It's causing me to get teary-eyed, to think about these memories. It's I think of another story, and these are real life. These happen to me, so I get so much pleasure. And I write my sister. I go, what was that guy's name? That was, and, well, and then it causes me to reflect, and I look at things in my life now. So I wrote about my grandfather, which we called Pop, and I explained why we call him Pop. But someone asked him once where he's from, and he said Texas, and I'm just a little boy, right? So I was between the ages of like 7 and 11, 7 to 12, when I lived in that house. So I'm just a young boy, and someone asked Pop where he's from, and he says Texas. And my grandfather's from Mexico. So as a little boy, I always remember, why did you lie just now? You never. I didn't say anything, because lying, lying happens a lot in my family. So I learned to keep our mouth shut. When somebody's lying, they're lying for a reason. But I always wondered what that reason was. And that caused me, when I was writing about this, it caused me to reflect on my own life and how that has affected me, being a Mexican American. And it's just wonderful, wonderful experience. And I feel like I'm back. I'm back to loving writing, and it's coming, and the words come, and I don't have to worry about, I got to make this next book. I'm just enjoying writing, enjoying my life. I'm out of time, because it's only lets me do 15 minutes. For some reason, it only uploads 15 minutes. So that's it for now. I should give you a call to action. Read my book. I'll put it here or something. Read the first chapter for free. Okay? Bye.